Your outer world is the reflection of your inner world, and vice versa. It all begins with you. So join me, Sandee M, at Soul Awakening Podcast every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we'll merge embodiment with the universal laws and make them work for us. Join me live on YouTube at Soul Awakening with Sandra. Our first law is the law of one, or oneness. See you there. Welcome in. Welcome in to the doorway where inner wisdom meets cosmic law. This is a transformative podcast. So you're going to transform according to your highest good, no one else's. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Unlocking power gives you growth in all areas of your life. If you know thyself, which I suggest you do, then you'll know how to utilize the laws to create your life. You're the creator. It's an invitation to sit back, dive deep, and know thyself. So let us begin. Take a pause. Let's take a breath. Embodying the universal law, part 1. Let's start with what is embodiment. For me, embodiment is the practice of fully inhabiting my body, my mind, and my soul. For you, it might be just a little bit different, said a different way, felt a different way. But embodying yourself, embody mind and soul in your present, helps you find you and what you really want. And then you get to know how to use the universal laws as your tool. They're in your toolbox. It means that you're not just thinking or talking about values. You're not just thinking about them. You're not just saying them out loud and they're going out in the universe and flying around. You're not just having emotions or feeling spiritual principles willy-nilly. You're actually making them a part of you. You're not just looking at a vision board and looking at the pictures and then you don't look at them till the next day or the next week, or maybe you forget about your vision board for a couple of months. It's about embodying them. And you might say, Sandra, you keep saying embody. It's kind of like having a daydream, a continuing daydream about something that you love. And when you come out of that daydream, you feel refreshed. You feel invigorated. You feel excited. You can taste it. You can feel it. You can see it. I remember my mother said, if there's something you really want that's meant for you, you wake up with it and you go to bed with it. It never leaves you. So it's actually living through your action, through your sensation, and through your being in every now moment. I'm not saying it was easy. I'm not saying it will be easy for you. It wasn't easy for me, but we weren't promised easy. At least I don't believe that we were. We were promised change and evolution. We were promised shifting. So let's begin with the presence. That's the first in embodiment. Being grounded in the here and now. Presence is the foundation of embodiment. It means being fully, mentally, physically, and emotionally grounded in your now. We're taught by society, or we have been, those of us that are now waking up or finding out that we have been grounded in the ability to stay in our past and fixated on that, or fixated on the future, but never present in our now. Embodiment encourages you to be in your now. It encourages you to ask a question of yourself. And the deep dive, no one promises it'll be easy. For some it will be. For some it won't. But at least to try to know thyself. Some of us get lost in the past, and some of us get distracted by the future, and some of us get distracted in our now moment by external noise. Present invites you to slow down. Your presence, your now moment, invites you to breathe. It invites you to connect with what's real in this moment through your body, through your breath, and through your senses. You were given them for a reason. So I invite you now for 30 seconds to notice your breath. Feel your feet on the floor. And for that 30 seconds of taking that breath in and releasing it all the way down to your feet, ask yourself, where am I right now? It took me several tries, and I mean several. Several meaning probably hundreds. But eventually, I got to find my anchor. I actually felt it. I actually felt that anchor in that place called now for me, and realized that transformation is possible. Let's talk about awareness. That's part of embodiment. Feeling emotion and you're feeling emotion in your bodily senses. Let's put it that way. Without judgment. Without you judging you. That it's okay to have a pain and not judge that you're not spiritual enough. It's okay to listen to your body say, I hurt. I feel bad. I'm excited. I'm confused. I'm happy. I'm sad. Because when you take in that now moment of feeling your body and feeling your emotions instead of pushing them away or pushing them down or denying them, you ask yourself an embodying question: what do I want to do with it now? Embodiment includes deep emotional sensory awareness. I always say awareness is aware, and we're awareness. It's just energy. When you become aware while your body is showing you that you're depressed, you open yourself up to transmuting or changing or alchemizing. Change is going to occur. It may not occur easily or effortlessly at first, but it will occur. By allowing yourself to fully be deep in your emotions and in your sensory adeptness, you allow all of this to be felt fully, right? My mother used to say, this too shall pass. Nothing was meant to stay. Everything was meant to go back to energy. Your feelings and your sensory perceptions are part of your GPS. You have to, or I can't say you have to do anything, but you should try to gain clarity so that you give your GPS as much information as it needs to guide you. But if you're not aware or allow yourself to be aware that something is going on and your body is trying to tell you, or your mind is trying to tell you, and you push it down, or you close it off, or you deny it, then guess what? That which persists, that which you resist will persist. Awareness is part of your embodiment. Becoming aware of self is very important to you. Here's an embodiment tip that I tried over years. And you know, when you first start out, nothing's perfect. Your ego is running the show, and you have to keep putting your ego in the back seat and keep trying and trying to allow yourself to be part of your awareness until awareness is intrinsically part of you. So when you feel a strong emotion, say somebody says something and you get in that emotional field of being mad, take a pause. I know it's hard because most of the time your ego will make you react. But it's okay, keep trying. Take a pause and ask, where do I feel that? Then take a breath into your space without needing to change it, without needing to bury it, without needing to disown it. Keep trying that. Okay? Part of embodiment is integration. Aligning your thoughts and your emotions and actions with your inner truth. Here we go. Know thyself. What is your inner truth? Is that inner truth for your highest and greatest good? Or is it an inner truth that no longer serves you? the more you become aware of this integration that's part of you, regardless of whether you told yourself the story or somebody else told that story, and you've just been on replay. Life is on replay because the story just keeps going on the record, and you don't lift the needle to change the record because you're tired of the record or the story, and the truth, that truth is no longer serving you. That's from your perception. That's not from somebody else telling you, oh, I don't believe your truth is the right truth. That's not what we're talking about here. It's the truths that you already have playing in your background. The truths that your egoic system can go and thumb through in your subconscious. The truths that pop up and make you uncomfortable when somebody's embodying you, not embodying you, but triggering you. And you're embodying that trigger. Okay? True embodiment means your inner world, that's your beliefs, your values, your feelings, and your outer world, your choices, your actions, your speech, are in harmony. That's embodiment. You're not split between who you are and how you show up. This is alignment between that. This is the alignment that builds integrity, peace, and trust within you. Possibly. Everybody's got a different construction crew within them. So here's another tip that I did. It took me years for this one. I'm still working on it. I'm just going to be truthful with you. Before making a decision or responding to a situation, ask, is this alignment, or is this aligned, or am I aligned with my truth within? Your body is going to talk to you pretty much first. Either you're going to feel irritated, or you're going to feel exhilarated, or you're going to feel like you want to beat somebody up, or you're going to feel like you just want to hug them and say, oh, come here, let's go do this. I love that. Is it aligning with your internal truth? What is in is out. Understand what is out is in as well. So if you're constantly seeing chaos, then that means that you have to take a deep dive into self and find out why the universe keeps mirroring. There's a story that's within you that's being told that's not in alignment with maybe the way that you actually say you want to be. Okay? So sometimes just let your body give you the answer. You don't have to react to the answer or act upon the answer. You get to take a moment and discern the answer and decide if it needs to change. The next is authenticity. Living in alignment with your core values and your soul essence. And there are so many other definitions of authenticity. That's the one that the divine just settled in my soul with. Authenticity is living from your essence, not someone else's. Not from conditioning and not from societal expectations. It's embodying your uniqueness. Do you know thyself? What's your unique form within. Not just spiritual, but soul, body, and mind form. Who are you? What do you want? What don't you want? What do you need? What don't you need? Who do you love? Who don't you love? Your uniqueness. Right? It's about embodying your uniqueness, your voice, your feelings, your values, your gifts, your courage, and your honesty to self first. Is your internal truth holding up to your courage and honesty for self first? Embodied persons don't just talk about truth, they live it from their perception. Let's put it that way. There are well over 8 billion of us, and we don't see truth the same. We don't live it the same. But the universe and its energies are very personal. So maybe notice when you feel most yourself. I know for me, there was moments where I came in and out of what society really wanted because it got so uncomfortable for me that a little bit more of the real me, the me that liked to play, the me that liked to chatter, the me that liked to talk about movies and music, and it didn't have to be about telling people that they need to go have a come to Jesus moment in the religious thing, that I could just be me and enjoy reading a book and going, oh, I love that. And it had nothing to do with religious chatter and make things that were making me uncomfortable. The more I sat there with that, I listened to my body, it made me uncomfortable. That's my example. I began to listen to my body. I began to feel uncomfortable even before I walked out the door to even go to church. I had trouble focusing on listening to something that wasn't for my highest and greatest good. So I was fidgety as if I was 5 again in church. I wasn't listening yet, but I was being aware of that. I hadn't learned how to access, how to transform it yet. Matter of fact, I didn't know that word transform back then. But I was learning. So the next part of embodiment is responsiveness over reactivity. Acting consciously rather than from automatic patterns. Automatically, if somebody, told you were wrong, you were ready to argue with them. You were ready to debate. Well, not you. I mean, just the us you. That's what we were programmed to do. We were ready to debate. There had to be someone right and someone wrong. Right? But sometimes it's about being an active listener so that you can learn what you want to respond to and how you're going to respond, where you're going to. Sometimes even if you're going to respond, regardless of whether a person thinks that just because you responded they must be right, maybe you found a moment where, hey, I'll just, that's it. That's okay. Let them go on and be them. And I'm just going to go here and be me. That doesn't even warrant a response. Reactivity is automatic and unconscious. It is the body reacting from survival or an old program. Responsiveness is grounded in intentional and being conscious. It arises from being present and embarking into clarity. I say embarking into clarity because some people can be present and still react. Okay? Embodying people can feel, let's put it this way. Embodied people can feel triggers and pauses and choose how to respond. Doesn't say every once in a while a person who's not embodied can't do these things, but an embodied person is more likely to feel the triggers and pause and choose whether they're going to respond to the action of the trigger, or if they're going to go into self and say, why am I triggered by that? Why do I feel in my body that I want to knock somebody out? Like that song, Mama said, knock you out, right? Why? Without judgment to yourself, just a question. No judgment there. No saying that you're a bad person. It's just becoming aware, right? So, the divine told me to pause, so I'm pausing. So sometimes when you're triggered, you can try pausing, taking a breath, and feeling into your body where you're being triggered at. You can ask a question, and you get to discern or choose whether you want to respond or not. You ask yourself internally about why that triggers you so much. Because normally if you say somebody triggered you, it's just that they said something. Now, sometimes a lot of people will trigger you on purpose because they believe that they've come into this duality to trigger people. I've heard people say that, right? But if you get triggered, it's your trigger, right? So dive deep. There's a story. There's a dogma. I'm just saying. You get to decide if you want to interact and play in that playground. It's your trigger. You're so welcome, Sarah. Right? Or take what resonates. Leave what doesn't. You might not even believe in triggers. You might believe that people are doing what they're doing to you, and you feel like it's necessary for you to react, and you feel exonerated. You did what you did. Maybe it felt good to you. Maybe in your body that felt good. It's not a right or a wrong. Right? Not a right or a wrong. Now I'm going to share with you some of the things that I jotted down that I don't think embodiment is. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. We're defining this according to us, each individual. I'm giving you the information. You get to take it and discern it and decide if it resonates for you or if it doesn't. It's okay. I'm not expecting you to take it in and go, oh, Sandee said this, it must be so. No, you've got a free will. See how it feels in your body with your conscious mind, your aware mind. Right? For me, embodiment is not just thinking positive thoughts. It's not escaping or bypassing uncomfortable feelings. It's not being spiritual in theory, but not in practice. Okay? So let's talk about the first one. Embodiment isn't about mentally focusing, forcing optimism. I've got to feel happy even though shit is wrong. And I gotta make my mind and my body believe it. It's not about that. It's about being real. So if situations and circumstances are happening where you're unhappy, you can say, I feel unhappy. And then I go into the next question. Now that I am aware that I feel unhappy, and I found it in my body, what happens when I feel unhappy, then you get to address the story behind the unhappiness. And you get to decide through discernment what you want to do to transform, or let's go back, step one back, surrender, transform, or alchemize to a different platform to happiness. Even deciding what does happiness look like, that's embodying. I have to know what happiness looks like for me, not for Joe Blow up the street, not for the Joneses, for me, right? It's about being real with your joy and your pain. It's about allowing your whole experience to be felt. We are here to feel positivity and negativity. We're here to feel both polarities. Why? That gives us experience. And if you're going inward, you're asking your higher being or your soul, why did I come here to feel this? It might take you some time to really understand your higher being and what your higher being is saying to you or explaining to you. But it takes just as much time to listen to your higher being explain to you as you need to explain to your higher being. You're having a symbiote connection, body, mind, and soul. Positive thinking without embodiment or embodied presence can become just spiritual bypassing and denial. Been there, done that. I thought when I had my last awakening, and I put those in air quotes, that nothing bad was ever going to happen to me, that I was always going to be healthy, that life was going to be roses, that I was always going to have money. And really, I didn't have to embody anything, and I definitely didn't have to do vision boards or anything. Well, universe kind of said, okay, then let's see how that works for you. And mirrored that back to me. Had to learn. But it's not wrong to say, if you want to do the bypassing, if you want to be in denial, the divine says, let it be so. It's a part of growth. It's a part of shifting and evolution. Escaping or bypassing uncomfortable feelings. Embodiment requires going through the discomfort. That's how you learn how to love thyself. And then eventually show people how you want them to love you. I learned that avoiding life, avoiding all the negative things, resistance, everything kept persisting. Right? Growth happens when you feel fear, sadness, anger, and vulnerability. And where are you going to feel it? Pain body. You're going to feel it in your body. Body, mind, spirit, they're symbiotes. They can't work with one without the other. So I suggest, just one suggestion is stay compassionate to yourself. Give yourself grace. Allow yourself to feel and give yourself grace that sometimes the feeling hurts. Losing a loved one hurts. Finding out you're stage 1 hurts. But once you feel it and you're aware of it and you're cognizant of it, then you know where you want to go next, how you want to surrender and change and alchemize. There's those words again, Sandee, right? Being spiritual in theory, but not in practice. You know, I like to read books, but reading books and attending workshops and speaking spiritual language, you know, speaking your light language, does not totally equal embodiment. True spirituality is how you breathe, speak, listen, walk, rest, and relate. It's how you're living it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but how you put it into action. But don't get me wrong. Learning can be just fine for you. If that's working for you, let it be so. Take what resonates and just leave the rest alone. Right? Embodiment is a bridge. It's a bridge between knowing and being. It's growth. It's shifting and evolving, and then washing, rinsing, and repeating. So here we are at part B, the universal law, the first one, the law of divine oneness. I hope you got your pencils. Let's talk about the definition. The divine one law states, or the law of one or oneness, states that everything in the universe is connected. Every thought, every action, every being is part, every being with a capital B, not just human being, animals, plants, the air, the water, the earth. Every being is the same part of the unified field or energy. What affects one part of the whole affects all. Sometimes you don't see it, how it affects someone outside of your sphere, of your your being. You only think about you. But everything that you say or do ripples into the universe. And the universe mirrors it back to you and how you are going to respond again to your sphere. There is no true separation. We are all expressions of the same source, no matter what label you give source. At the most fundamental level, everything is existence. Everything exists. Everything is existence. Humans, animals, nature, energy, and even thought originates and exists within the same universal source. No matter whether you call it God or source or the universe or illusion or the matrix. So while we appear to be separate individuals in these unique bodies, personalities, our experiences, the essence within us is the same. Our action about it is going to be different because that's called free will. Just as waves are the individual form, it's the same as the ocean. So are we expressions of the same divine substance. Example, hand. This is a hand, but there's individual expressions. Palm of the hand. It's all the same source. Right? Right now, I can. Good. I'm going to take a moment. I'm listening to the divine. Right now, I want you to consider the light that lives in all beings. Consider that. If you could just see the 5D of the being, the light, that vibrational light, that vibrational energy, and then watch it be clothed with whatever it's to become, would you be in awe? Seeing energy take form. Next, your inner world reflects and influences your outer world. What is in is out, and what is out is in. Our thoughts, our emotions, our beliefs, our energetic states don't stay confined with us. They are energy and they're constantly moving. They shape how we perceive and interact the external world. What our ego is our egoic self, our personality is showing us when we look at the outer world, it's bringing the outer world into us. And your egoic self is saying, what do you want me to do with it? What are we going to do with it now? Your egoic self knows how to play in the playground called your unconscious. So it goes and finds stuff of equal value. You've done it before and presents it again. Is it expecting you to make a different choice, have a different outcome? That's up to you. But if you're already pre-programmed with information that you keep leaning into as your egoic system brings you that information, then you're going to get the same result. Only you expected something different, right? You keep getting the same result in your outer world. That's why it has been said quite a lot from a lot of different workshops and a lot of different gurus and a lot of different sages, right? When chaos is outside of you and that's all you see is chaos, then go inward, because that's where the change begins. That's where you can tame, maybe, change, maybe, surrender, maybe, the chaos. But it starts within, right? The universe acts as a mirror. When we carry inner harmony, we tend to experience more harmonious relationships and circumstances. When we have chaos within us and we allow it out of us, then the universe can do nothing but mirror that back to us. Energy is here to create. And it's asking you, what do you want me to create? Energy is always turned on. It's always listening to you, whether you're conscious of it, whether you're unconscious of it, whether you believe in it or whether you don't believe in it. It has a mission, is given a directive to create. And it listens to you. When we are fragmented or in turmoil internally, life often mirrors that back. So if you're constantly going through the same scenarios and situations year after year, you get through one, but the next year you have the same scenario, different person. It's mirroring you from internally. And someone has probably always already said, well, you're saying it's my fault. It has nothing to do with fault. Don't judge yourself. Don't judge it. Ask yourself an internal question. Why do I still have these pre-directives going on? What's the story behind it? How do I change it? We go back to the first part of embodiment. Oh, well, I have to acknowledge that it exists instead of pushing it down or denying that it exists or denying to other people that it's not me, it's you. So this isn't punishment or blame. It's an opportunity for reflection and alignment. It's an opportunity to dive into you and know thyself. So here's a teaching clue. Sit with yourself and in a deep breath, inhalation, allow your self-awareness to come to the forefront and allow your ego personality to slowly see it move to the background, just for a second. How do you feel? Do you feel it in your body? Does it bring you closer to tools for transformation? Does it allow you to shift your inner world, your inner you? Now, it might not happen from just one breath, but the more you practice it, the more you step into embodying you, the universe will respond, because you and the universe are one. You are not separate. You and energy are one. You and the quantum are one. It's not separate from you. It's within you. Shifting your inner world will shift your outer reality so that you can attract and create. Just think about it. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Number 3, judgment of others is ultimately judgment of self. Sometimes we criticize, condemn, and look down on others. Sometimes we are often projecting parts of ourselves that we've rejected or disowned. I took a pause there. Some might call these shadow aspects, traits and feelings that we deem unworthy. Traits that show up in others that give us the opportunity can give us an opportunity to reclaim, to heal, to integrate. But sometimes we don't see it like that because we want to push it down. We want to run away from it. We want to avoid it. We want to deny it. So we look at other people and we're immediate to judge them. That way, we don't have to deal with ourselves. I.e., celebrities. They've got so many celebrities and all about the celebrities and what they've done and what they shouldn't do and what they have done and what they will do. And we're fixated on them in their life. Why? Because we don't want to deal with ours. You'd rather judge other people that you don't know personally. They might be your favorite actor, but they're part of the wholeness of all that is and all that is not. The same as you're part of that. Just an example. Right? These shadow aspects or traits or feelings we deem unworthy show up in others to give us opportunity to reclaim healing and integrate them. Possibly, if you let it. Similarly, when we over-idolize others, we are often seeing unacknowledged brilliance that also exists within us. So sometimes you're putting people down because they're, smart or intelligent. They won them a Nobel Prize or an award for music, or they're the top of their game in the aeronautics division or whatnot, but you don't have anything kind to say about them. Or you'll bring up the past when you remembered, I remember when they weren't all that. Take a moment. Take a pause. Encourage yourself for self-inquiry without judgment. What in me is reacting to this person? Or what part of myself have I forgotten or denied? Or you can say it better. I am aware that there is something in me that is making me react to this person. What is it? I'm aware that there is a part of me that has forgotten or denied something, and my reaction to this person is reflecting that. What is it? We're part of the whole. We're all one. We all came from source energy. And source, yes, is moving in and out of polarity because it's seeking itself, but it's seeking me and it's seeking you. And it wants to understand, why are you belittling someone? Explain it to me. So you have to go inward and explain it to your higher being, who's going to explain it to source that is moving in, through, and as you. Take what resonates. Leave what doesn't. Right? Healing yourself contributes to the collective. I hear many people talk about the collective this and the collective that, but it starts with you internally. Because we're all connected, every act of healing, forgiveness, or awakening undergoes ripples out into the field of human consciousness. When you heal ancestor trauma, it softens patterns in your lineage. Your great-grandmother, your great-great-grandmother, and your great-great-great-grandmother have already lived lives, but they left information from when they were living in your DNA. And it softens that information because you get to access the patterns and discern them for yourself. When you embody love and peace, you raise the energetic field around you. You influence your family in your now moment, your community, and beyond. You may not see it, but it's felt. You don't need to change the world out there to make it a difference. When your healing is beginning, it's vibrating out. It's being felt. The only difference is, are you waiting to acknowledge from someone that you're healed? Because you might be waiting a long time. But if you're acknowledging from within that you're being healed, that you're being cleansed, that you're being transmuted and changed and alchemized, and you can see it because you can feel it as you're actively living it in your life, then you don't need to wait for somebody to tell you you got it going on, because you do. Empowerment is a principle of inner work for you. Nobody has to recognize it and then tell you that, oh, you've done a good job. From inner to your outer world, you get to see it, feel it, be it, do it. And pat yourself on the back. And then wash, rinse, and repeat. Acts of love or fear ripple through the entire web of existence. The law of one is also known as the law of love. Fear is not a law. Fear is an action. Fear is a vibration. But it ripples, and you can create with it if you so choose. Every thought, every word, every action, every thought, every word, every action you take carries a frequency. Let's put it that way. And that frequency sends a ripple into the interconnected quantum field. Acts rooted in love, kindness, compassion, gratitude uplift the collective vibration. The vibration of all humanity, the vibration of all the animal kingdom, the vibration of all the plant kingdom, the vibration of all the air kingdom meaning birds, all the land kingdom, all the ocean kingdom. Every dimension everywhere is vibrating differently because of you. We're all connected. And vice versa. Right? The same thing is if you're rooted in fear or control or judgment or aggression, it creates tension and harm in the field. This law invites us to become conscious creators, aware that our choices matter, not only for us, but for all beings with a capital B. When a bee pollinates, it supports the entire ecosystem. So do our small conscious acts. Think of a drop of water in the ocean, individual yet inseparable from the whole. Think of a surfer waiting for the perfect wave to rise as a unique individual entity of the ocean. You get to ride it as that surfer. And then the wave goes back to being whole. I'm going to take myself as we talk about water, living water. Merging, part 1C, is called merging embodiment with the law of divine oneness. You might say, why? Why do they go together? Embodiment roots spiritual truth in daily life. I used to always ask my pastor when I was in 6th grade, 5th grade, who knows, maybe even 4th. Why do you read the Bible, but you don't teach anybody how to use it in real life? And he asked, well, Sandee, how do you know that they're not using it in real life? Because they're living one way and then coming in the church and pretending to be different. See, children see. I saw. And I asked questions. So back then, I was a kid. I didn't know to tell them, well, they're not embodying what you taught them that Sunday. Embodiment roots spiritual truth in daily life. Spiritual teaching is like the law of the divine oneness, can remain abstract or intellectual if we don't bring them into our bodies and into our behavior. They can be abstract. They can just be out there. But when you bring them in and start using them internally and externally, they become part of your creative patterns. Embodiment makes those truths real by anchoring them in how we speak, breathe, move, how we love, and how we make decisions. When you embody the truth that is one, that all is one, let's put it that way, your actions begin to reflect that. I begin to see if someone is irritating me or triggering me, they are the other part of the wholeness of me. So I get to go, well, how would I want someone to treat me if the tables were turned? Well, I want somebody to be patient with me. I want somebody to ask me a question of why I feel the way I feel, why I feel it's necessary to do this, and to have actually a conversation so that both of us are active listeners in the conversation. Why? Because we're both part of the wholeness and deserve to give each other grace from within to without. Right? When you embody the truth that all is one, your actions begin to reflect through compassion, through presence, and through intentional living. Rather than just thinking, you are connected. You start to ask maybe these 3 questions or a different 3 questions. How does their tone affect, or how does their tone affect me? Or how does my tone affect them? How does my energy shift a room? Well, so-and-so just came in the room and the energy shifted. How does that affect me? Can I feel the same life force in myself that flows through others? If someone is feeling irritated, can I feel that same life force? Have I felt that before? How did I want people to react to me? Or how did I react to others? And how did that turn out? Sometimes embodiment can transform spiritual theories into spiritual practices. You take the energy and it becomes form because you practice it. You get to decide if it feels good. And you want to do it more and more. You listen to your body. Some theories don't work for you. And your body tells you. But you got to try it on for size. It's like going to a department store and taking a size 10 and taking a size 10 and 12 and finding out what fits you. Whether you're a man or woman, it doesn't really matter. But 10 or 12 for a woman, and going in on the dressing room and trying it on and seeing if it fits. You bend, you stretch. The same thing when you try on shoes, you walk around and my mother always told me, don't walk on the carpet, Sandee, go over there and walk on the floor. Right? And I know how the shoe fit me. If it was going to be for my highest or greatest good. Didn't know those words back when I was little, but my mother did. Or Maybe my mother didn't know those words, but she used a certain set of words that helped me embody what type of clothes I like to wear, how I like to feel in my clothes, how I like to feel in my shoes, whether I liked cloth headbands or whether I liked the headbands with the metal. I'm partial to cloth headbands. Metal ones gave me headaches, right? You don't have to travel to the far edges of the universe to feel oneness. You can sense it in your own body. The breath that connects you to the trees, the heartbeat that echoes in others, the emotional waves that mirror your humanity share a longing for love, safety, and belonging. When you inhabit your body, you feel your connectedness. The way you breathe regulates a calm space. How your nervous system picks up other people's emotions. How joy or pain in others touches your own heart. Have you ever watched a movie and the actress or actor is so profound that you're in tears because you feel it? You feel every word that they've uttered in their monologue. Living from Divine wants me to take a pause. Embodiment shows you Embodiment allows you to feel yourself, not as separate, but as a vessel of collective life, a thread in the larger weave of existence. Living from embodiment turns awareness of oneness into a lived relational truth. Your truth. Growth, expansion, and evolution. Wash, rinse, and repeat. It's one thing to know that all things are connected. It's another to act like it. Embodiment takes awareness and expresses it through your relationships, through your listening, through your boundaries, through your service, and even through your rest. When you are embodied, your presence becomes medicine. You become the truth of oneness, and others can feel it. They might not agree totally with you, but they can feel you. Some of them go, "What is it about you?" I have people saying that about me and my community. What is it about you? Why does every dog know to come to you, Sandee, turn their little booties around and want me to vibratorily rub their hips? They know. So this transforms you. How do you respond to conflict? Are you curious or do you attack? How do you treat strangers? With care or superiority? How do you care for your body? As a sacred expression or a cosmic expression of the whole, or separate from everything and everyone? You shift from talking about connection to being the connection. Merging embodiment with divine oneness means you don't just understand why, you live it. You breathe it. You become the transmission of how to exist in it, through it, with it, because of it. Here are some embodiment practices. Daily body scans, and you can do somatic meditations to stay connected with your sensations. You can do movement practices like dance and yoga and conscious walking. That helps you feel and express emotion. Check in with your body before making decisions. Just ask yourself, how does my body feel about what is about to transpire? And then listen to your body. Set intentions to act in alignment with your core values. Then reflect on whether you embody them. Check in with your body. Practice empathy for applying the law of divine oneness. Recognize others as mirrors and extensions of yourself. How would you feel if you did X, Y, and Z, and then someone else did that to you? Depending on what the X, Y, and Z is. Act with compassion. Recognize that harming others is kind of like harming yourself and the greater of the whole. Heal inner wound. Heal your inner wounds. Trust that healing yourself will lift up wholeness, the collective, others. Mind your energy. Your thoughts and your emotions, they ripple out. Decide what you're going to choose. You have free will. Make a choice. Connect with nature. Feel the unity of all life by being present in nature. And nature doesn't mean you have to get in your car and drive, 2 days to go to the Grand Canyon or go to the Sequoia National Forest for the big trees. It means nature the moment you step out your door. And you take your dog for a walk, or you take your cat for a walk, or you walk over to the park, or you go to the park and you put your feet in the grass, or you step out into your backyard. Take time for you. Step into you. You are the beginning of the oneness. I am so thankful and grateful that you embarked on this embodying journey with me. The universal laws are your tools. They have no gray area. They were put here already in sync and working, whether you believe them or not, whether you're conscious of them or not, whether you're actively using them or not. They are actively listening to you, expecting you to give it a command. Your energy gives it a command continuously. Life isn't happening willy-nilly. Life isn't fucking with you. Life is happening because of you. So, Remember, whether you're a spiritual seeker or a high performer or someone craving and a more authentic life, it starts with you. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you get to use some of what has been said here. Step out, embody the law of one or oneness, and be the great creator that you were meant to be. New episodes are every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Like, subscribe, and share, and then align with your highest path. I'd like to thank Sacred Light Production for making this available to you. So see you next Tuesday with the next law. One love. Peace.
Attention veterans, your next mission: healing and community in beautiful Loveland, Ohio. Imagine a place where nature's serenity meets powerful ancient healing practices. Welcome to the first ever Holistic Healing for Veterans Retreat, happening July 12th and 13th in Loveland, Ohio. This is not just any retreat. Hosted by Marcus Christolite of Sacred Light and co-hosted by former Marine Sergeant AJ Lardy, this 2-day outdoor camping experience is designed just for you. Alongside fellow Sacred community members Heather Lynn of Heart Alchemy Wellness, Lauren aka Peach, Katie Singing Eagle, and Niara, you'll dive deep into holistic shamanic level flow shops. Picture this: sound healing that calms your mind, shadow work that uncovers your true self, and subconscious reprogramming to help you rewire the brain from PTSD and trauma. All set in a beautiful, secluded, natural setting with a magical riverside. And it doesn't stop there. We'll provide clean, vibrant meals for all diets, ensuring you nourish your body as well as your spirit. Let's grow together as a community, bringing empowering healing to ourselves and our loved ones. Tickets are incredibly affordable. Just $33 for 1 day or $77 for the full 2 days. But remember, you must register first. Scan the QR code on the flyer or visit the site next to the code. Got questions? DM Marcus Christolite directly at 513-238-5580. This is your chance to find peace, connect with fellow veterans, and embark on a journey of profound healing. One love.